of Fandom Menace isn't just toxic white males, it's Toxic Femininity, brought to you by Midnight's Edge, with Miss Sarcastic Nerd, Geeky Candy, and your hostess with the mostest, the mistress of mayhem herself, Miss Mary Mayhem. Welcome, everybody, to Midnight's Edge. I've got the ladies of Toxic Femininity with me here for a special report. I'm sure everybody is more than aware of Elizabeth Banks and her, I don't know how you'd put it. So I'm just going to leave it up to the ladies to talk about. This is just insane. So they're going to talk about Charlie's Angels, a little Elizabeth Banks. This all just kind of happened throughout the weekend. She made some more stupid statements after our last show, so that prompted this quick impromptu newscast. But then also, we've got so much news coming up, we figured we better cover it now since it's not going to wait till this weekend, right, ladies?
Exactly.
So before we go on, I'm going to introduce everybody quick and then let them take it away. Right below me, we got Miss Sarcastic Nerd. Introduce yourself real quick.
I'm Miss Sarcastic Nerd, but everyone calls me Miss, or I hurt them.
To my left is Miss Geeky Candy. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, yeah. Candace, aka Geeky Candy. Cover lots of random geeky content on my channel. Come check me out sometime.
And the mistress of mayhem herself, Miss Mary. I'm going to let you take things away. There you go.
Well, hi guys, I am Mary B. I am the mistress of mayhem, and we have ridiculousness incarnate to go over today. So Elizabeth Banks is a moron. She's an absolute moron. We're going to go ahead and cover just a little bit of an article here that we have from IndieWire.com. So Elizabeth Banks says Captain Marvel and Wonder Woman were hits because they belong to the male genre. The new Charlie's Angels couldn't even crack the 9 million mark at the box office over its opening weekend. The well-reviewed Charlie's Angel reboot is the latest studio box office bomb of the fall movie season, following in the footsteps of such disasters as The Goldfinch, Gemini Man, Motherless Brooklyn, and Terminator Dark Fate. And that was also a giant disappointment. The Elizabeth Banks directed action comedy failed to crack 9 million at the box office over its opening weekend. Box office tracking had Charlie's Angels opening at an already disappointing 10 million, but the final total came in well below that mark. IndieWire's box office expert Tom Bregman says the film will be a significant loss for Sony this season. Prior to the movie's disastrous opening weekend, Banks gave an interview to the Herald Sun that is now proving to be somewhat controversial. The filmmaker, who also wrote and produced Charlie's Angels and stars in the movie as Bosley, called out a potential box office bomb as being sexist. Look, people have to see this movie. People have to buy tickets to the movie too. This movie has to make money, she said. If this movie doesn't make money, it reinforces the stereotype in Hollywood that men don't go see women do action movies. As some moviegoers were quick to point out on social media, Charlie's Angels bombing doesn't exactly prove men will not pay to see an action movie driven by women. Earlier this year, the Brie Larson starring Captain Marvel grossed $426 million in the US and over $1.1 billion at the worldwide box office. Wonder Woman ended its summer run in 2017 with $821 million worldwide. But Banks says these female-fronted comic book films are still tied to a large male genre.
Breaking news, everybody. Elizabeth Banks says something really stupid to back up something that she said that was really stupid. And the world is just sad. I'm sad. Are you sad, Mary?
I'm appalled. I'm amused even.
I'm embarrassed. My gender embarrasses me. That's all I have to say.
I need better representation.
I've never been so embarrassed to be woman instead of white. Is that the new thing this week?
I guess so. I'm now embarrassed of the vagina.
I'm Hispanic.
Oh,
God.
Human and Hispanic card.
No. I was saying, it's usually like I'm just embarrassed to be white. That's what they always say. So now this week, instead of just being embarrassed to be white, it's going to be I'm embarrassed to be a woman as well.
You know,
I'm embarrassed to be a woman right now. That's for sure. This article infuriates me, but I'll hold my tongue until later.
Sorry, I just had to chime in.
Thank
Well,
you.
I'm embarrassed of being a human being. Embarrassed of it all. But Elizabeth freaking Banks, the high and mighty Elizabeth Banks, who believes that she is such a wonderful person, such a goddess, that she can't make a bad movie, that she can't fail. Like, the only reason that her movie could possibly be bad is because men, the patriarchy, all of it. It's not women's fault. All the women were marching up to the theaters to go see this movie, but the men stopped them. Their husbands went into the lines and went, "No, female, make me a sandwich instead." All the women listened because
high
they were
heels.
all being held back by the patriarchy. Elizabeth Banks is a moron. Elizabeth Banks is horrible. I don't know how to put this any further than that. She is no better than Rian Johnson, J.J. Abrams, Kathleen Kennedy. She's basically a carbon copy of them. Huge ego, unable to recognize that she made a bad film, and only able to make stupid, ridiculous excuses for her movie, blaming other people, blaming men, and then backing up her information by saying that franchises like Wonder Woman's a part of our male genres, that they're only watching it because it's a male genre. That makes no sense.
Well, and I think this speaks to a measure of entitlement. Like, you need to go see this movie. This is essential. Or, you know, the patriarchy.
Go see my movie or you're sexist. Go see my movie or you are sexist is the most entitled thing a person can say, the most ridiculous thing a human can say. She sounds like a 12-year-old. She sounds like a 12-year-old girl who's starring in a play and goes, "If no one comes and sees my play, it's because they're sexist." Like, she sounds just childish and moronic. I would not be friends with her in high school, moronic. I don't understand this logic that is continuing to move across in Hollywood with directors, or at least woke directors, who can't just go, "Okay, I made a bad movie." It's fine. It's fine to say you made a bad movie. I mean, that's respectable. I would respect her better if she could go, "Okay, we did some things wrong here. We didn't respect the characters, or we didn't do this." Some sort of recognition of what she did. But no, it was men.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of bizarre how they can figure out Sonic, but not Charlie's Angels. Like, they can own that Sonic looked bad and fix some of that, but you can't figure out how to handle Charlie's Angels the way that people would want you to. It's not as if you didn't have feedback. It's not as if you didn't know what people wanted for this, right? We're vocal. We're very vocal. We'll let you know, but you just didn't bother to listen. And when you didn't bother to listen to people who were telling you what it was that they would want from a movie like this, you got angry at us.
Mm-hmm.
So here's my thing. I don't understand what she expected. What did she think was going to happen when she turned Charlie's Angels into a feminist party, into a female buddy romp? You didn't make a film for men. You didn't make a film that men would want to go see. And women didn't show up either to your movie, sweetheart. Women decided, "I'm good. I'll stay home. I could do literally anything else with my time." And you got upset when women didn't show up to it, and when SJWs, that's the best part. SJWs don't support your business model here either. You put out a movie that no one wanted, that no one cared for, that would have needed to have been done very carefully if you wanted it to work, because Charlie's Angels isn't exactly some huge IP, right? I honestly think that they were lucky that it did as well as it did with the first run of movies. So you needed to be very careful with this. And when you weren't careful with it, and when you threw it out there as this sort of feminist agenda thing and no one showed up, you got pissed off and started calling a bunch of males sexist. Well, women didn't show up either. Neither did your SJWs. I really, really would love to see them start to get a clue here. Dark Fate didn't go over well either. So what do you expect at this point? What do you think is going to happen? that if you throw something out there, anything out there, and you call people sexist and you call people misogynists, that they're going to somehow go, oh my God, where's my wallet? I'm so sorry. Here, take my $12. I am so sorry. It is my penance for my mistake. I am a misogynist, horrible man. No, this isn't just men. Women didn't show up either, because we don't care about your shitty movie. We just don't care. So congratulations. You made a stinker. You made a bomb. No one showed up for it. And have fun calling me a misogynist, because last time I checked, yep, I'm a woman. Got all the parts. Handle that. So,
well, and that's all that matters to some. So, apparently.
I know we have some new information for this as well that dropped for us.
Well, yeah, apparently, she does have some backers, including the wonderful, wonderful Paul Feig, the one responsible for the monstrous Ghostbusters reboot, all female, and also who happened to blame males for that failure. So I find it ironic, but I'm not surprised. He was responding to a Twitter. A Twitterer, if you will, that was basically just coming up with a reasonable rationale towards why this probably didn't hit the mark. That the tweet just read, this Elizabeth Banks, I knew when Ford versus Ferrari and Midway were out, but not Charlie's Angels. And this is someone who said they go to the movies a lot. They didn't even realize it was out. They said, and like Paul Feig's Ghostbusters, the marketing you did was to women, perhaps even anti-male. Want men to attend your film? Market to them. Don't exclude them with virtue signaling. And Paul steps in just with this wonderful, wonderful tweet here. Anti-male, virtual signaling. God, you guys are boring. So a movie starring women has an agenda. A movie starring men is just a movie. We got it. I'm sure Elizabeth is grateful for your mansplaining. Thanks for taking the time to be helpful. And I just sit back and wonder, Paul, are you just this inept to not realize that you, in fact, are mansplaining? I don't understand your positioning here. And of course, this tweet has been deleted because upon one little Google, you will see there's several hot headlines here. Elizabeth Banks says she considered #MeToo while making the latest Charlie's Angels reboot. Okay, and here's another one. Charlie's Angels review carries its agenda from the start, does not have inventive action scenes. The problem here is when you make an action movie around females and the majority of the action is how fast their mouths move, not a real action movie. Andre on Midnights has had a great point here. Okay, there are so many wonderful movies out there that are very popular because they don't remove the femininity of a woman that is popular on films, such as Tomb Raider, Lara Croft Tomb Raider. We've got Mila Jovovich, Resident Evil. You can go on and on with the Hunger Games too. It's just the fact that you decide to call it an action film. No, it's snide remarks, sarcasm, just trying to make the men seem little in some way. Nobody wants to see that shit anymore. So stop making it and then blame us for it. Get out of here with that. I'm sorry.
Well, what gives you the right? What gives you the right to lambast somebody for not coming and paying for a movie that you didn't make for them in the first place, right? You didn't make this movie for them. Isn't that what they've been touting all along here? Is that, well, it's not made for you. Well, then don't get pissed when they don't spend their money on it. You didn't go to their job. You didn't work their 9 to 5. You didn't make their money. You didn't put it into their account. So you have no measure of right to it. So, and you didn't make the movie for them. So what the heck makes you think that when you don't make a movie for them, when you literally tell us in the marketing that this isn't for them, that this is about women, this is for women, and then when they don't show up and spend money on it, you get mad at them? Well, congratulations. This is a literal recipe for disaster. Yeah. You made this bed, now lay in it. Congratulations. I feel
like she's the one that would say like 1 + 1 = 11. She just doesn't get the things she says. And it's very confusing when you say things like that. Like, yes, men, this movie is not for you, but if you don't come, you're a pig. Okay. So it's a lose-lose situation for men. Got it. Don't worry. I won't bring my man to come with me to see this movie because I'm not going to come either. So problem solved.
It's the continuing thing where men can't read your mind, just like you can't walk around saying it's for women and then expect them to be like, but I can go?
Yeah.
That means I can go, yeah? That means I can go see your movie? This movie wasn't even on my radar until this showed up. I didn't even care when it came out. I didn't care about the trailers. There was a bit of people talking about it when the trailers came out because of the way they looked and how stupid the trailer looked when it came out. And the agenda very clear in the trailer. And
can I just point out how stupid Kristen Stewart looks here with her freaking mouth hanging open like a freaking animal. Just look at her. She looks like an idiot. The other two look absolutely gorgeous. They're glamorous, hair blown back. Kristen Stewart, you stuck that dog front and center. What the hell is wrong with you people? Why would you do that? This is just another perfect example of, oh, well, we wanted to stick the strong woke character nice in front and center, right? Well, she looks stupid. She looks terrible. That is not appealing to anyone. Not only does it not appeal to men, it doesn't appeal to women. I never looked at this movie once and said to myself, you know what? I feel represented here. No, never once have I felt represented by anything that this movie has depicted to me in the marketing. The marketing sucked. Absolutely.
Yeah, when the marketing basically is Elizabeth Banks running around talking about literally the agenda in this movie. Literally, I mean, she has a statement here. It says she literally says this. One of the statements this movie makes is that you should probably believe women. We have as much validity in what we're feeling and how we want to go about living in the world, being in the world. And that was really important to me, that we felt like we had characters that were being taken seriously and given a chance to live their best life. I just want to scream. She's so gross. No, men and women don't want to come see you talk about these things. No. And if you didn't already realize, Me Too movement, it's like gone already. It's so beginning of the year. It's not here anymore. Too bad your movie, bad timing. Maybe some other time, like earlier this year, maybe it would have been better, but nobody gives a shit anymore. So move the hell on.
Well, and speaking of Paul Feig, wasn't this all greenlit? As I understand it, this was all greenlit right around the time Ghostbusters was doing its thing as well, back when they thought that this was going to be a thing.
Logistically, yes. Logistically, yes. As far as I know, I can't confirm it, but I my understanding that Andre has is that yes, this all started under that mentality. And you guys, I just wanted to pipe in here quick because she started this tirade before the movie even came out.
Yeah, she did. Well, because she knew it was going to be a flop.
They all knew it was going to flop because it was tracking for shit. So she was already ready and in the waiting with the ammo, just like Paul Feig was. Going right out of his playbook, and you guys talked about the ladies being attractive. Look at this fucking picture here.
She looks like she's in pajamas.
She is in fucking pajamas, and it looks stupid as hell.
Yeah, they're showing you their ankles, and that's the epitome of sex appeal right now.
What 1.5-year-old dressed that woman that day
in leopard print or cheetah or whatever the hell that is?
Leopard print. Who the hell? What? I swear to Bob, she looks like a toddler put her clothes on that day. Or a toddler that never got out of her pajamas. This is something a freaking 2-year-old would look at their mother and go, Mommy, can I have the leopard print pajamas? I'm never going to get out of my pajamas. I'm going to wear my pajamas forever. You look like a friggin' idiot, lady. What moron put that woman in that outfit? Why did
no one's going to be dressing as these Charlie's Angels for Halloween? That's for sure.
What do you even accomplish in that outfit? What do you manage to get done?
Most of them look like they're going to school to teach that day.
Right? I mean, I don't even like this movie really that much, but here, I remember this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is memorable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I didn't like that. I didn't even like that movie that much, but memorable. That's the key. This, I don't want to remember any of it. I don't want it. I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't want it. Get it out of here.
Look, like, I'm sorry, Lucy Liu, Drew Barrymore, and Candace Cameron looked like some badasses. Look at that.
Cameron Diaz, you mean, but yeah.
Yeah, Cameron Diaz.
Very close. Very close.
Maybe Hallmark Channel will do that sometime.
At some point, when you look at these women, you say to yourself, I am not fucking with them because I would probably get my ass handed.
I wouldn't look at Lucy Liu cross-eyed. I'm sorry. She'd break your fucking neck.
Because that woman is complete. These women look badass. You stuck the fire behind them. You've got them looking like if you move wrong, if you mess with them, they will absolutely rip your throat out. The difference between the way that these women were marketed and stuck out front there, these women look powerful. They look capable. They look like someone I would want to emulate. The other women look like they rolled out of bed that morning. Look at Kristen Stewart looks like she didn't get out of bed. Or even her hair is unbrushed. You look like
she looks like she's pissed you woke her up.
Yes, she's a complete disaster. And the other three, I agree with Candace. They look like they're about to go teach school.
Yes, they're about to go teach, but not school. They're about to teach everybody about how to listen to women and believe women and to Me Too, this and that and whatever. I feel like they're about to just hop on Twitter and have a war with somebody, whereas the other representation of Charlie's Angels, they're actually going to kick somebody's ass. I want to see, the only thing I'm interested in is I would love to see how these they're going to kick ass in those outfits.
Right? What are you going to do?
They're going to have lounging around in their castle. This is the outfits they wear to go kick ass with.
Literally none of these outfits are conducive to any measure of badassery. Every single one of these outfits has a massive design flaw, and they don't even invoke the notion that it could be badass.
I think they probably just pulled it out of the closet that day.
Yeah.
Except for Kristen Stewart, they look like they're going to Walmart and to brunch. I'm sorry.
Right after church on Sunday afternoon, they're all going to brunch. Every single one of these women, except for Kristen Stewart, who had a temper tantrum that morning when her mom wouldn't make her waffles instead of pancakes.
Oh God! I think we covered it.
Here's a shot of him in action, though.
Look at that.
There you go.
But think about the outfits that
what is that shirt she's wearing? I'm sorry.
No,
it's like something out of Miami Vice.
She's on vacation, just hopped off the plane to Maui.
Evidently, Justin Bieber has a cameo.
Oh, great.
Who had them have their fists like loose like that?
Right? Who you gonna hit like that, darling? That's not how you throw.
The only one here who's even dressed remotely like they used to is what's her face on the far right here, who's in like the jumpsuit.
Yeah. She could have accomplished something at that moment, but the rest of them just look. I don't understand. I don't understand what they were thinking. What were you thinking?
Kristen Stewart looks like she's fresh out of a bar
with her freaking mouth hanging open.
She just had her Mai Tai.
She never had her mouth. Don't even worry about it.
Just right here. She just leaves her friggin' mouth hanging open.
It's always like that. It's like permanent.
No, her mouth is always open in her movies.
Yeah.
It's her. This is acting.
In any movie that she's in that you liked, because you'll notice now.
What's funny is you're not like the first few people I have heard say that. Everybody says that about her eventually.
I've heard it from other people.
Elizabeth Banks, thank you so much for making our week. We needed that.
Quit
let us know
for us, Elizabeth. That's all I want to say. Stop it.
Right?
Stop it right now. God.
Let us know in the comments what you guys think about this whole debacle, and we'll catch you Sunday night here on Midnight's Edge with these ladies on Toxic Femininity.